New year, new goals. That's basically how the Davis administration prefaces its economic outlook for 2023. In fact, Economic Affairs Minister Senator the Honorable Michael Halkitis is boasting of a new strategy to limit any potential international economic downgrades of the country. He shared those details with our Altavis Munnings earlier this afternoon. She joins us live in studio with more details. Good evening, Altavis.
Good evening, Jimanita, and good evening, Bahamas. You may remember we reported last year, October, that Moody's credit rating agency affirmed the country's credit rating from B1 from BA3, and the outlook changed from negative to stable. And those numbers were released a year after the agency issued a credit rating of BA3 from BA2, literally hours after the Davis administration became the new government. Well, days into 2023, Minister Halkitis declared that effective communication is government's common denominator in eliminating any potential negative economic downgrade on the Bahamas.
We spent a lot of time during the last, 18 months? Since we've been in office, speaking with the financial community, investors, just in improving our communications and letting them know what is going on in the Bahamas. There had been a significant lack of information about, our prospects and the recovery that has been going on. People thought, tourism economy hit by COVID, they're going over the cliff. We had to do a lot of work to reinforce that, listen, the tourism economy is rebounding significantly. We have a plan. We've gotten some results already that you can see. And we have plans in terms of our forecasts, and we have plans in place to achieve those forecasts.
No more downgrades.
No.
And that plan coincides with the country's current financial standing. The Ministry of Finance's most recent economic report shows that in October, government revenues improved by $46.3 million over the prior year, and total expenditure rose $60.8 million, or 25.2%, to $302.1 million. It's all thanks to a rebound in domestic economic conditions from the COVID-19-induced economic downturn, and despite Russia's invasion on Ukraine elevating inflationary pressures through September, visitor arrivals to the Bahamas remained strong during that period.
Recently, there are some concerns about global economic growth slowing down within the U.S., and there's even been some talk about recession in some of the major economies of the world. But we are confident that given our proximity to the U.S., which is our major source market, given our marketing efforts, given still the pent-up demand for travel, and even in recessions people have money and people still spend money, and given the information that we're getting from the Ministry of Tourism and the hotel partners and other stakeholders in the tourism industry, we anticipate that strength will continue into 2023. Of course, we've all seen and experienced the effect of inflation brought on by supply chain issues coming out of COVID-19, and then disruptions caused by the war in Ukraine. And you've had governments and central banks raising interest rates to try and contain inflation. And so offshoot of that will be that you'll see some slowing in the rate of global growth. And so that is a concern. That's something that we need to monitor.
And Minister Halkitis is very confident the strong economy will continue in 2023, although government has to remain very cautious to mitigate any potential financial risks. Reporting in studio for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Altavis Munnings. Back to you, Jimanita.